If you are checking your bank account waiting for the latest stimulus payment to show up, you may be in luck this week. NBC 10 Responds is getting answers for people who are asking, where's my money? A viewer from Delaware County wrote to NBC 10 Responds with the question, where is the stimulus money for people on SSDI? That's Social Security Disability Insurance. According to the IRS, if you collect certain benefits, including SSDI, you may see the money starting today. The IRS says it received the data.
Folks, we got a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Continue watching this video because you don't want to miss out on it. There's a lot of big news in Congress on the future of stimulus checks and the future of the American people. Well, listen to this, everybody. Joe Biden took executive action and sent out direct relief payments to low-income people. Two new bills have been put forward, and they both include stimulus payments. The last federal stimulus check went out again, but a large number of individual states are starting to come through with financial help for residents as record inflation just continues to increase over time. So the states that are paying your money, everybody, the states that are sending out the stimulus payments to the residents are states like this: Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, New Jersey, and South Carolina. Just to name a few. Many other states are also offering some more financial support for you guys. Folks, I also want you to know this. A substantial 2022 budget surplus is the focal point of a new bill in North Carolina. It will put money into your pocket. There's $6.5 billion at stake. Democratic lawmakers have suggested that you got to use it for $200 gas tax rebates for local taxpayers, just to help you combat the higher price of fuel. However, some of the local bills are also pushing back, preferring to reduce state income tax rather than issue one-time checks. The Oregon Department of Revenue has also issued one-time stimulus of $600 to eligible households, meaning a single person could also help their family by paying stimulus. And more relief is coming to people in Oregon, but when you file your tax return in the later half of Second 20. Folks, I also want you to know this. In fresh produce, the average unit price for prepared mixed vegetables has actually dropped since July. However, more relief is coming for people at the grocery store. Most consumers' price breaks on their groceries come as welcome relief, given that store food prices overall have surged 12.5% through October versus a year ago. Overall spending on groceries will increase as more families cut back on eating out, cook more at home just to curb their spending. But now, the Biden administration has said that they stopped accepting applications for federal student loan forgiveness after a court just sued them. And a note on the forgiveness application just says that courts have issued orders blocking our student debt relief, and as a result, we are not accepting applications. It's sad to see this, but it's what President Biden has to do. The suspension of the forgiveness program just comes shortly after a judge in Texas rejected President Biden's executive action in August to cancel $20,000 of debt. So the Job Creators Network has also called for Biden's irrational plan and called it unfair. He accused the president of overreaching his authority. The complaint argued that the White House ignored federal procedures by not seeking public comment on this program. And the Biden administration said the Justice Department had already appealed the decision, and the Education Secretary said, "We believe that the Biden-Harris student debt relief program is lawful and necessary to give borrowers and working families breathing room as they recover from this crisis." But folks, do you think this is right for President Biden to do this? Do you think he should be canceling student debt? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Because folks, I also want you to know this. Long before Biden made his move, the Republicans were already criticizing student loan forgiveness, as well as a handout to college graduates. They also argued that the president didn't have the power to do this or forgive the student debt on his own, without Congress's approval as well. But originally, the Education Department had said that the borrowers would receive forgiveness within 6 weeks after they applied, and the full application launched October 17. And within 3 weeks, some 26 million people had requested the relief. To date, around 16 million of those requests have been approved, and for now, the department says it will just hold applications for borrowers who have already applied. So folks, what do you think about this? Do you think that President Biden is doing all that he can to help out the American people and send out the stimulus payments? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. We definitely know that President Biden must do more for the American people.
General from the great state of Missouri, the Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, a businessman and best-selling author from Ohio, and 3 distinguished members of the House of Representatives. Exactly 25 years ago, in remarks welcoming the new Senate class of 1996, Senator Robert Byrd told them that service in this body is both a supreme honor, a serious responsibility, and the highest political calling in the land. The famous student of the Senate's rules and history, our former colleague from West Virginia, concluded that as long as the Senate retains the power to amend and the power of unlimited debate, the liberties of the people will remain secure. So, Mr. President, it's a high bar to earn the trust of one's neighbors to represent them and fight for their home state here in this chamber. Each of our soon-to-be colleagues has cleared this high bar. I'm proud to welcome members of what will be the 118th Congress freshman class. I hope sincerely that each of our incoming colleagues will embrace the honor of this immense.
Sorry, I think if you look at our, maybe the closest economies and political systems would be the countries of Western Europe and Canada. You know, advanced economy countries like that, they're all having the highest inflation they've had in a very long time. Places like Germany, which is famously, you know, inflation averse.
So monthly stimulus payments may be automatically deposited for you. Lawmakers across the nation have officially set up new relief programs. The more stimulus money you can receive right now would greatly help so many people, so I believe President Biden should actually get the job done and send out stimulus checks as soon as possible. Now, the nearly $1 trillion in federal relief sent to U.S. households through 3 stimulus checks is credited with reducing poverty and helping millions of families weather the crisis. But with the crisis still affecting millions of people in the nation, many lawmakers are deciding to take action on this with their own form of stimulus payments. States are tapping into their own stimulus funds to help specific residents, like low-income households of teachers, or even teachers, with direct aid reaching more millions of people this year. According to recent census survey data, about 1 in 4 households across the country struggled to pay the household expenses in the previous week. So in an effort to help Americans from any future recessions, lawmakers in the Senate and the White House are now considering passing automatic checks for the next time the economy takes another significant dip. The Economic Security Project has officially held a discussion with 50 staff members from the Senate Finance Committee on automatic stabilizers. This would tie the issuance of expanded unemployment payments and stimulus checks to the state of the economy, therefore helping many people out. Plus, one economist told CNN putting in place these kinds of triggers would smooth out the recovery and no one is left at the mercy of Washington gridlock in future recessions. So she supports recurring stimulus check. Other lawmakers are considering universal basic income, which is a set of recurring payments that individuals get from the government. These can be paid out every month and several times a year or even just once annually. Democratic Representatives Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal have introduced legislation that would provide everyone in the country with $2,000 every single month. And that's $1,000 per month for a year. For instance, the ABC Act is going to finance the payments with an unconventional plan that would direct the Treasury Department to use its legal authority to mint as many as 1 trillion platinum coins as necessary to fund the legislation. Pramila Jayapal said people don't only need relief, they need stability, certainty, and predictability. And the ABC Act delivers them just that.